Wayne Broughton, an expert in escape and evasion. Proficient in intelligence collection.
Let's cut the crap, shall we?
And hand-to-hand combat. It's an impressive set of skills.
Talents can be overrated.
Lorraine, how well do you know James Gascoigne?
Enough to say hello.
He's dead. Find out who's hunting down our operatives. We're a lot of brave men and women are going to show up dead.
Fuck.
Your contact is David Percival. Let me help you with your bags. Welcome to Berlin.
Fuck's sake.
Trust no one.
Aloha! This is Trinidad, your island man, coming to you live once again from beautiful Hawaii, here on the island of Oahu, bringing you the best movie reviews on the entire island. And yes, this is Trinidad, your island man, coming to you live once again here in Kaneohe, where I just came from the Windward Mall, and I saw this weekend starting Atomic Blonde. Yes, it's Friday and the start of the weekend. Now, this opened up last night. There was, when the trailers were coming out for this movie, a lot of excitement for this movie. Some were saying that it was going to be the next John Wick. Some were saying that maybe the two universes would, coincide. And, John Wick could run into, the Atomic Blonde gal. Now, this movie stars Charlize Theron, Sophie Botello, James McAvoy, John Good, but Toby Jones in it. So it's got a lot of fabulous actors and actresses in it. Charlize Theron is an amazing actress. Oscar Award winner. Fantastic in that Mad Max Fury Road, of course. And I think this is her follow-up to that movie. It's been quite a while. Why people haven't been knocking down her door for more movies, I don't know. I guess they're still waiting on maybe Fury Road Part 2, which would be really good. So yes, there was a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement about Atomic Blonde. And well, now remember, this is based on a comic book called actually The Coldest City. And being set in the late 80s, at the height and near the end of the Cold War, atomic, atom bombs, nuclear bombs, the West and the East at it, and it centers in Berlin, so thus the name Atomic Blonde. Remember our rating scale. Shock a thumbs up. It's good to see. I recommend it. Shock a thumbs down. It's bad to see. It's junk. And, well, after all that anticipation, after all the waiting, the fantastic trailers with the fight scenes where Charlize Theron's kicking major butt, John Wick style, even Jason Bourne style, I gotta say, shock a thumbs down for this movie. I can't believe it. As much excitement as was promised in this movie, there are dashes of it, but yet it's overall very dull and slow-paced. So therefore, shock a thumbs down. However, like Baby Driver, I would give the soundtrack a strong shock a thumbs up. So remember, the soundtrack for Atomic Blonde, strong shock a thumbs up. Check it out on iTunes. Go ahead and download it. Pick up the CD if it's available somewhere, because it references in the late 80s all of the great 80s music, everything from Till Tuesday to The Clash, David Bowie. Beautiful soundtrack, well set in Berlin, beautiful backdrop for the Cold War, East and West, like I said. Definitely. This movie turned out to be a slow burn spy thriller, more so than a John Wick straightforward action flick. which I think, you know, the trailers definitely misrepresented it as, you know, that straightforward, knock your socks off action show like a John Wick or a Jason Bourne. But being the slow burn spy thriller, more of a, you know, Bridge of Spies, where, you know, the clash of the Cold War, East and West, between Charlize Theron's character, a MI6 British agent, you know, going against, you know, the Soviets, KGB, there in both West and East Berlin, working with her contact, also from the British government, James McAvoy, to reclaim this list of covert agents working in the Soviet Union. And of course, you know, the KGB wants this list so that it can eliminate all of these agents on their soil, gaining intelligence against them. And so it is Charlize Theron's character, Atomic Blonde, to go in there and reclaim this list, find it, bring it back, come out alive, and there you go. But what we get is, again, you know, the conflict of the East and West, Cold War, pseudo-spy stuff, a lot of, oh, I gotta go see my contact, this contact, oh, I don't trust him, don't trust anybody, but yet she trusts certain people. You know, not quite clear why. It's never really explained how she has this deeper bond with these other people, other than, oh, I trust my own people. You know, so apparently these were contacts that she had been, you know, been using for quite some time and already established outside of the norm of, you know, what her handlers and bosses at MI6 provide her, such as James McAvoy. So yes, the trailer showed, like I said, a lot of physical combat. Charlize Theron is, like I said, an incredible actress. You know, you want dramatic, you want romantic, you want kick your butt kind of stuff. Charlize Theron is your woman. She owns this role. Her outfits are beautifully crafted from the 80s. Beautiful trench coats, beautiful slacks, suits, power suits, you know, very big from the 80s. Beautiful. I mean, even when she is all beat up and gritty and bloodied, she is beautiful. Very much like, you know, Keanu Reeves in John Wick, where he's putting on his suit, say John Wick 2, and trying on that new suit. You know, a very straight, simple fashion. You know, man's got suits. That's pretty much the height of his game. Here, you know, as a woman, Charlize Theron has, you know, an abundance to choose from, and it is utilized fantastically. She is spectacular in the looks department in this movie for however old she is. I think she's in her mid-40s right now, and she's all over it. I've been a fan of Charlize Theron, well, since she was in the Matrix as the woman in red, if anybody remembers that. You know, and we get to see probably the most flesh I think we've seen from Charlize Theron since maybe Monster, or, you know, maybe Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves. Amazing. You know, she looks fantastic. Now, I'm kind of at odds. I'm a guy. Yeah, I like seeing that kind of stuff. However, as far as fitting the narrative of the story and moving the plot along in the progression of the plot, you know, yes, she's beautiful. Yes, she does it. She uses that beauty to seduce, you know, and bend to her will a couple of possible agents or contacts in the movie. But however, these nude scenes that we see her in are just mainly for shock value. So, you know, I don't recall ever seeing Keanu Reeves in John Wick 1 or 2 completely naked. I mean, his torso was, open. He didn't have a shirt on, I think, in some of the scenes, but he was always at least wearing pants, I think. So I think that was just a little bit excessive and definitely not necessary for this movie. And as beautiful as Charlize Theron is, it distracted and detracted from the overall plot of the movie. Again, so I got to give it a shock of thumbs down. Definitely wait until it comes on Netflix, iTunes, or streaming to check out this movie. On a Sunday afternoon, on a Friday night, at home, watching it on the couch, it's going to be great. Spending $10 to $15, $20 at the movie theater to see this, not so great. Again, there were long lulls in it. Essentially, it opens up and we find out that this is actually her debriefing. The entire movie takes place during her debriefing of the mission that she had already gone on. And so what we see from the trailers, what we see throughout the movie, all the action scenes are in the past of the movie, that had already occurred and already happened, and she's simply explaining this to her bosses there in MI6 during her debrief about the success or failure of her mission. So, I think that was the wrong narrative to take in this movie, or at least have it be a reveal there at the end that, oh, this was all just a retelling. Don't show it at the beginning as, hey, this is what, something already happened that was big, and now we're going to hear about it. Show it to us. John Wick opens up, boom, especially part 2, the car driving down the street, the screeching tires, all that. Open this movie like that, keep the adrenaline going, and then at the end to slow it down to the screeching halt, say, yes, this was all the debrief, this is what we uncovered, this is what we found, the end. That would have worked so much better than the way I think that they had done it, because the pacing really lags at times. And as good as the fighting is, Charlize Theron went through extensive physical, demanding martial arts training for this movie. She actually cracked her teeth for this movie because she was saying that she had clenched her teeth during the fight scene so hard that her back teeth, she had formed some cracks in, and she had to go for dental surgery afterwards for this. But yes, she is incredible in it, yet the fight scenes end fairly quickly. In the third act, there is one fairly long fight scene, which is really good and really enjoyable. But again, that's just one out of the entire movie. The other ones are like pow, 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 so fast, so quick, and then it's over. And also somewhat unnecessary. You see that trailer, where she's in this apartment, it looks like, and these police are attacking her, and she's got this hose that she uses to swing down from the balcony to a different floor. There was no reason for that confrontation. They didn't jump upon her right away. They arrived later, the police. She sees them coming. She has time to plan and prepare, with the hose and her idea of how I'm going to get out of this, when it seems to me that she could have just fled to a different apartment, a different part of the building, and snuck out of there without anybody being the wiser. She didn't gain any information, and the audience didn't gain anything other than saying, yes, what we already knew, she is one heck of a badass. So, it didn't do anything to move the plot along other than, yes, she's a tough cookie. So, so Charlize Theron, I hope she gets more roles out of this. I could see a sequel to this, depending on how the box office does. Definitely a Netflix, Amazon series, even HBO or Showtime, if they want to follow more of the comic book. I'd like to see more of this character come back and see more of her stories, just a tighter script and a tighter story where it flows better and with the focus remaining on the action instead of the narrative so much for what's promised to be an action movie other than a spy thriller. All right, so again, thank you. This is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, live here from Oahu, the beautiful islands of Hawaii, giving Atomic Blonde a shaka thumbs down. Sorry guys, save your money if you really want to see it. Sorry, the $7 at Consolidated, or you know, the $6 on Tuesday at Regal. All right, again, shaka thumbs down for Atomic Blonde. You know, go ahead and wait till it's out at home and then watch it there. All right, thank you so much, and aloha.